Hold on one sec. Oh, okay.
Is better?
LD. Yeah, yeah, I can hear you perfectly. LDWMMAC. This is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison. You're live on the Coach Shelton Harrison Combat Sports Show live. Man, we got Hollow Point. We got Hollow Point back on the show, man. Janay Hollow Point Harding. Janay, how you doing? How are you?
Good. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Hey, I am blessed to be here talking to Hollow Point once again. I mean, this is just the end of a great day, but it's the start of a good day for you over there.
It is. It's only like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, okay, yeah, woke up, had a nice workout, had some training. So, how was it?
Yeah, it was good. This morning we did some boxing at my boxing gym, Grange High Performance, and we are under Anthony Redwood over there. And it was really good. Always good to come back from holiday and move around and sweat and burn some calories. It's nice. Yeah,
Okay,
it's a good.
she's sweating and burning some calories, man. She look like she can go fight right now, y'all. You got some people in here showing you some love. They're here now. They're gonna show you love, and guys, of course, I'm gonna let you guys ask questions to Hollow Point because yeah, I'm gonna let you ask some questions. But right now, she just came off of her victory, and I hope I don't butcher this girl name wrong. I'm good with Russian names. Okay, you just got off a victorious victory from Marina Mokhnatkina. Wow,
Yeah, pretty sure that's
wow,
how you say it. Yeah, I did.
congratulations! I mean, two fight win
Thank
streak.
you.
How do you feel?
Yeah, feels good. Feels good to be progressing and yeah, being on a two fight win streak in Bellator. It's nice to know that I'm moving forward and yeah, going where I want to go, especially with the way this year will hopefully go. It's good to start it off with a W and move on.
Janae, I've always told people when it comes to the topic of Hollow Point Harden, I've always said she's only 23. Wait. You're 24
24
now,
now.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now I can say, hey, she's only 24. Do not let the record fool you. Just don't, because this girl can get in there and probably whip your ass. I mean, that's just how it is. Do not let the record fool you. And guess what? It didn't fool this opponent because you went in there and you won. Now, were you nervous? Like, when they was rendering that decision and, you kind of like you was sitting there. Because I watched the fight, but were you like nervous, like, uh-oh, I'm finna get robbed, or?
You just never know. I don't like obviously like my corner didn't feel like I lost. I definitely didn't feel like I lost the second and third round, but maybe the first one, and it was probably a little bit closer than you'd want. Like me personally, like I wanted it to be a little bit more dominant, especially in the striking area and stuff like that. But I mean, it's not that you're nervous, but you just never know. I mean, when you leave it up to the judges, you never know how they see it. Maybe they saw the takedowns, or maybe they saw something that you didn't feel like you were doing. Because as much as you can do the fight, I mean, when you watch it back, you kind of remember, like you see a lot more, and you recognize a lot more things that you would have maybe being in that perspective. So yeah, you just never know. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're nervous, but it just means that yeah, you just open to whatever will happen. And I mean, I've been robbed of decisions before in other sports, in boxing and stuff like that. So it's kind of like, I don't know, you can't really do much about it. There's no point being a drama queen about it as well. So you just kind of like it's your own fault for letting it go to the judges like panel anyway. So I guess, yeah, you can just let it be what it is.
Okay. Well, you didn't let it be what it is because you won that fight. I kind of have an issue with judges. I got to axe the ground with judges. Like, you know, you got these guys that, most of them, they've never competed in athletics, and then they're judging an athletic event, and, they're sitting there, I don't know, somebody probably passed them a sandwich and a bag of chips, and they got mess all over the place, and they're trying to judge an athletic competition from one angle. And I'm like,
Yeah.
man, how is that fair? I wish they would get former referees or former fighters to judge these fights, because I've seen a lot of robberies this year in WMMA.
Yeah, it's hard. Like I mean, especially with MMA itself, they're kind of changing the scoring and the whole judging system in a general sense, because they're understanding now certain disciplines are not necessarily more dominant than the other, and you have to look at the whole fight as a complete thing rather than just I don't know, saying, oh, they got the takedown, so that gives them the round or whatever. You have to. It's like a lot more than that. It's like how what they did with it, like how the fight progressed from that position, or yeah, like solidifying your ground game, or like what kind of goes from there. And the same with striking. I mean, there's so many different possibilities. You'd never really know like how they're going to see it, but it's good. I think it's like it's definitely progressing in a more positive way, but hopefully, yeah, we can kind of sort out like a little bit more of a definitive system that would be like a little bit internationally recognized and used.
Okay, guys, she broke it down. Y'all probably should have paid her for that right there, for that bit of information that she just gave you. Um, and we appreciate it. Now, you got some comments. You got people in here. A couple of people not familiar with you. And first question, from Tay Tay Brown. Man, okay, I think she's gonna like love you to death. Hollow Point. She says, "How long have you been in Bellator?"
I was signed at the start of last year, and I had my first bout in May last year. So, I guess I have a little bit of a list. Sorry, I'm just gonna tell you, I have a little bit of a list because I just started doing my Invisalign, which is like the plates to straighten
Okay,
my teeth, and I'm so not used to it, and I don't usually have a list, but I'm getting used to it, guys, and I can't take it out, but I will.
it's okay, Janay. You need to
Yeah,
go on and show us the teeth now. You gotta go on and smile big now. Check out them teeth, y'all. Look at them teeth, but them things is
shout out to
perfect.
Invisalign and my dentist, Teeth on Fairy, for hooking me up, but I'm not very good at talking and getting used to. I know a lot of people with braces and Invisalign understand what I'm talking about, but
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Yes, yes,
But
yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
I guess I've been a Bellator fighter for like nearly a year and a half now, or like just a little bit underneath that. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm 3 fights into my contract with them, so I've got another 2 fights left.
See, Tay Tay, that was an easy question. Y'all need to ask her some complex questions. Like you need to ask her like her next strategy for the next 5 fights. That's what y'all need to ask Hollow Point, okay? Because Hollow Point is a wealth of knowledge here. Okay, so you're on a 2 fight win streak. Now, I've been wanting to ask you this for about 3 months. Who are you eyeing? Who are you eyeing next? I mean, you got you got some. Yeah, I mean, you got a couple of paybacks you got to do. I mean, you got Lee Brock still out there. Blenko, who just lost to Julia Budd not too long ago. You got Amanda
Mm-hmm.
Bell. You got that newcomer
Olga.
Caliendo. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah, you got a lot of newcomers, but who you got your eye on
yeah.
next, Janae?
I don't necessarily like have anyone in particular. I mean, the division is stacked, and there's a lot of people that are in similar positions. And I feel like the way how we've all kind of fought each other, or have had similar past opponents and stuff, or I mean, we have fought each other and stuff like that in this division. It's sort of just whoever is going to progress me close to that title shot. But at the moment, like pretty much everyone will, because everyone has their own credentials and reasons why they're a good win, like, and a good scalp to kind of have on your record. So yeah, whether it is a rematch with either of those girls, or fighting, I mean, someone like Olga, who is fighting for the title next. She's someone that I was looking at fighting before she got matched up to that fight. So someone like her, Amanda Bell, of course, or I mean, I'm aware that maybe Sinead wants to fight again. That doesn't really serve me a massive purpose, but I'm happy to fight Sinead again, and just to solidify that win. If there's any questions on that, or yeah, just kind of like anyone, to be honest, anyone in this division, everyone is like very strong, and will be another win closer to the title shot. So that all works out for me.
Speaking of Snake Kavanaugh, now she's running around saying, we got to run it back, because she hit me, but I mean, it. I know if I could have went I know if I could have went the 4 or 3 rounds, the fight would have been a different result. What are your thoughts
Yeah.
on that?
I mean, like obviously, I'm not going to put my own performance down, and I was very confident with how I performed in the first round, and I was extremely excited for a second round. To be honest, like I was ready for a second round. I didn't expect it to get stopped, and my mentality coming to the second round was really positive, and I mean, I was fit enough for more than 3 rounds as well. So that was good. And so I was fit enough to use my movement and use my length against someone like Janay. And I feel like I was working well because I was working well with my distance, either in long range or short range for the elbows. So, yeah, I mean, I was confident coming into the second round that I would have finished it, or it would have gotten worse, like in one way or another. And I definitely feel that I won that first round anyway, cuts aside. So yeah, I'm happy with how it went. And if she wants to run it back, of course, I'm confident that I'll get the win again. And I don't feel like it's necessary to say that I got lucky because there was a lot more than just those elbows that were positive in that first round. So it's kind of it's just like, I mean, if I know that her other point was maybe that the cut man didn't know what he was doing and stuff like that. But it would, like, she did have more than one cut too, so I'm not sure if they factored that in, or I don't really know what was happening because obviously I'm on the other side of the cage. I don't really hear what everyone's talking about, but it was quite a large gash. I don't know. Like, from what I remember it being somewhat about here, which isn't necessarily generally cuts stop fight because they're causing vision impairment, or something's happening where it's actually causing the performance of the fighter to be hindered. So it's like I didn't see that it was like going into her eye or anything, like the blood was going into her eye or anything like that. So I'm not really sure, but I guess like the decisions is their decisions. Like there's nothing you can do about it, but either way I came away but like pretty confident with how I went and happy with my performance in that fight specifically, for sure.
Look, look, she could have had Jesus in that octagon. That cut was
Yeah,
not. That cut was legit. Look, you know what? And I was looking at comment threads, and I'm like, wait a minute, come on, that's a legit win. She hit her with an elbow. She cut her open. Look, fight over, done. You don't need, look. It don't even serve you any purpose to go backwards. Look, you.
yeah, it doesn't.
I mean,
Like
you
it's
try
like,
to fight for the belt. Come on, Sinead.
yeah,
Listen, fair and square, she won. That's it. It was a wrap. TKO victory.
yeah. And it wasn't just one elbow that landed. Like it's not like I just hit one elbow the whole fight and in the whole 5 minutes, and all of a sudden I got lucky and I got the cut. But I mean, I don't know. It is a weird way to win though, because it's kind of like you didn't finish it. But if you don't want it to, if you don't want the fight to finish like that, don't get elbowed in the face. It's like pretty simple.
See, that's a simple solution. Do not get elbowed in the face, okay? So,
Yeah,
anybody still a little salty. If y'all fans of Sneak, hey, listen, don't get salty. Listen, TKO win for Hollow Point. That's just what it was, okay? I know I was happy when I saw it. I was like, God, dog, yeah. Yeah, I watched that fight. I was excited. I was really excited. All right, you
thank
got
you.
some questions. I'm finna put you in a two-part question here, okay? All right, so Dennis Espinoza, brand new fan by the way of you. He said, okay, he says, what area do you think you need to improve in most? And then Combo Breaker 99 said, is staying close to your fighting weight something you practice?
Something I practice, like
You know
in the
what?
gym.
I better ask you one question at a time. Sorry about that. Com-
Yeah, I was like, whoa,
you
no,
know, I just
I
thought,
haven't eaten today to be able to handle both questions at the same time.
oh, that's
No,
okay.
the first one, to be honest, like especially after that last fight, um, I mean, I've always sort of said I neglect jujitsu a lot, but to be honest, my last performance that I wasn't completely happy with. I would say the biggest thing I need to work on is my mentality, just being present on fight day, just being like controlling the environment. There's a difference between rocking up on fight day and being able to clearly hear your corner, being able to make decisions in the octagon, being able to like problem solve and all sorts of stuff like that, and really be the best, like confident and comfortable athlete and fighter that you can be in there. And there's a difference between that and then getting in there and just kind of turning on autopilot and doing what you do, kind of, because obviously a lot of us, anyone that's in, I guess, a promotion like Bellator, have had enough experience to know how to, go through the motions. But there's a difference between that, and you can even do this in sparring, I guess, like and rock up on sparring days and not really be completely present and active, I guess, in your mind to be able to make the best decisions and move in the best ways or whatever it is. So that's something that I really want to take away from this This last fight especially, I'm confident with my jiu-jitsu, and I feel like that last fight, as much as I got caught in the knee bar, I didn't get knee barred and I didn't get subbed. And this has happened in past fights, maybe like when I fought Jesse Jess, maybe like 3, 4 fights ago, whatever it is. That I have good submission defense, and I feel like for my game and for what I need, that my jiu-jitsu is where it needs to be. It just needs to be like not neglected, and the main thing I want to work on is my mentality.
I actually thought you was legit hurt though, cause when I saw you get up, you kind of limped back to your corner, and I'm like,
Uh,
man, I said, man, hollow point.
yeah,
I said, man, like she limping over there. I don't know. I hope she can beat this girl on one leg. That's what I started thinking. I mean,
yeah.
was the pain really intense?
It was like it hurt a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. It was more the other leg that I was using to defend and push against her. That leg ended up gassing because I was putting so much resistance on pushing against her thigh, to clear my knee. And so that's when when I got up, that's the leg that gave out, not my right leg, not the one that was getting knee barred.
Oh,
So it was
damn.
kind of funny that I was just like, oh, it looked kind of probably looked worse than it was, but it was like this leg was now gas, and it was like, oh, you want us to walk now? I was like, no, that's not happening. And then, but it wasn't actually the one that got knee barred. The one that got knee barred was just a little bit hyperextended, but nothing too major. And to be honest, like after a day, the day after we were walking around a lot, and even after that day it was fine, and now it's completely fine. Like there's nothing torn, or it wasn't swollen, like there was no fluid in it. It was hyperextended a tiny bit, but my knees are naturally a little bit bent as well, so yeah, it was all right. Like I knew I'm pretty silly when it comes to jiu-jitsu, and I guess I would wait till the last possible moment to tap. But at the same time, I knew it was the knee bar wasn't completely on, and that she had to move a little bit deeper into my thigh to get the knee bar. She was obviously cranking it as much as she possibly could, but
Yeah,
she
yeah,
was
she
in
was.
the best position. Oh, sorry. So yeah,
Yeah, cause when she had it on you, Janae, you just kind of like for a minute, you just kind of laid back. I said, what? Wait a
yeah,
minute. Hollow point is chilling. Like, what? I mean, she's in a knee bar, but you didn't like you didn't have a care in the world. You just like and you just waiting for the round to end. I said, oh, okay, okay. I see the strategy. She ain't in
yeah,
trouble. Okay, she okay. Cause I had a couple of my buddies over here. We watch these fights, and I'm like, hey, you know, nah, nah, nah. The wrestling girl gonna beat her. I said, man, be quiet. Come on. And, I had to get my $50. So I won
of
that.
course.
So yeah, I feel good about that.
Oh.
Okay,
So,
so Dennis Espinoza, he asked you. He said, what area? Okay, well, let me read it. He said, what area do you need to improve on the most? Like, for example, do you think you need to improve on your ground, your striking, your dirty boxing, kicking, or do you think you need to focus? Wait a minute, God, dog, Dennis, you killing me. Do you think you need to focus on? Okay, yeah. So, what area do you think you need to improve on? Striking, dirty boxing, or kicking?
in striking or in everything?
Just like overall, like what area do you feel like in your mind that you probably would need to improve on out of all the things I just mentioned?
Yeah, probably just like my wrestling and my jiu-jitsu. Um it's yeah, it's just it's not something that I'm not confident in, and I feel like I just proved that, but it's something that I just want to get better at and just be I don't know, a little bit more dominant in it. But there's heaps of stuff. There's heaps of stuff I want to work in my striking, even though I'm a more striking dominant fighter. I still definitely want to work on my range and a couple of like notes to take away from the last performance, especially just being a little bit longer and controlling distance and stuff a little bit better and stuff like that. Yeah, like there's kind of bits and everything I want to work on, but like I said, maybe my mentality was more the most important thing that I want to like improve on as a whole.
Okay. See, Dennis, she answered that question for you. Okay, she answered the question for you. Okay, now you can stop giving me these two parters. Thank you, Dennis Espinoza, for that. Okay, Tay Tay Brown asked you, who was your toughest opponent?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
God don't, Tay Tay. You asking a tough question like this.
That's a much better question. What, they're all good. Um, like as much as I mean, you would expect me to say lost, but like even some of my amateur fights have been really tough. But I guess in the last few years and in my pro record, I would say my toughest opponent was probably Amber. Um, just because that fight was really hard to gauge, like to for me to problem solve and for me to work out. As much as I lost, um, I feel like my start, like I still feel obviously you always feel like any rematch you're gonna win, but I feel like on paper my style should have worked really well against her, but it didn't, and I couldn't figure out why, and I um couldn't quite make the right decisions to stop, I guess, cramping myself up, and a lot of like a lot of mistakes that I made in the fight caused me to lose it, but at the same time I landed a lot of like hard shots on her. I remember doing that, um and yeah, and she was one of the toughest people that kind of just kept coming forward, and she had a similar mentality to me, and I think like that's why I have a lot of respect for someone like that as well. And her style works really well against mine at the time for sure. So yeah, I would definitely say she was one of my hardest opponents for sure.
Okay. God, dog. Well, y'all asking some great questions. I'm really, hey, y'all doing good because I don't know the last crew that was in that with Janay. I don't know. I don't think y'all was asking no good questions, but okay. All right. So you have this one. It says okay, Stamina MC. That's a good name. That's a good name for a fighter. Does she? Okay. Do you differentiate in the quality of a win at all? Okay. So let me. Whew, okay, let's break this down. Like, is a knockout better than a submission? Is total dominance more pleasing than a comeback win? Or are oh golly. Okay, you killing me.
I think I get it.
Okay.
Like I feel so whenever I finish a fight, I mean, you can. I've lost a round and then come back in the second round and won by TKO, or I've um, won by decision and stuff like that. And clearly, obviously, unanimous decision means that three people thought that I won it, so it was convincing. But in a way, I mean, that last fight, especially, I feel like I could have done a lot better. So I think ultimately, the way I judge my wins is just on my own performance. Like, as long as I did the best that I could do within the I don't know, circumstances, whether there was adversity that I faced, whether I had a hard cut or whatever it was, or the person that I was fighting was obviously the last girl I fought was more the Sambo Jiu Jitsu girl. So it's good to know that I didn't get subbed by her, and it's good to know that her like takedowns and stuff um, didn't really affect my performance too much. But at the same time, I would have liked to be more dominant. So it's not as satisfying as the win that I got over Sinead, for example. I feel like
Yeah.
I was very confident. My performance, the way I was moving and stuff, was a lot better than how I'd been in the past in performances, and I felt a little bit more dominant. I felt coming into second round, I was really positive, and my headspace was clear and open to whatever situations were going to come forth. So yeah, I think there is definitely a massive way to gauge, not necessarily if it's a TKO or a decision, but more how you did in yourself. Um, if if you work to the best of your ability, because ultimately that's like your biggest opponent is yourself. Like you just want to be the best fighter in the cage as you can. And I mean, I've even had losses that I feel like I've done the best that I could in that circumstances, and I've lost, and I've been happy with that. But I've been sadder about wins that I've done that I could have done better. So yeah,
Dang.
I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, that's that make a lot of sense. It make great sense, and you really you just broke it down, and I kind of that's why I really like interviewing you because you're not old enough where you've been like I guess corrupted by just what you hate about the sport. Like you always talk about what's great about the sport, and I find that with 20 somethings like you guys y'all really want to engage everybody. And I'm noticing with the older fighters, they don't really want to like they'll give you like a sideways excuse to why. Oh, okay, well, I'm not fighting this person because, but all the 20 somethings that I interview, you guys are like, y'all are like energetic. Y'all want to just go and take on the world. And I feel like that's the kind of
Yeah.
attitude that you have. So man, that was great. That was great. It's it's kind of one of those things. I like seeing you develop, and I've seen you develop from your first fight to now this fight. And
Yeah.
and I think the 4 losses in your career, I think that's actually helped you become an even better fighter than you
Yeah,
were
for
like
sure.
just 3 years ago. Like I started watching you in 2016. Like this is wild. I started watching
Crazy.
you when you were like 21, and
Yeah.
you were fighting hard, but now you're not making those mistakes that you made in the past. You're actually you've got good head movement. You're actually refining your jab. You actually got a nice little body attack now. So it's all starting to shape up just nicely, man. I mean, who
Definitely.
who's responsible for all this? Like, who is actually molding you so quickly?
It's actually funny because especially since my professional debut and I think the next two fights that I had, I was consistently with the one gym for a long, long time since I was 15, since I started my journey, since I started in MMA and everything like that. So I was actually just with the one like coach for ages, and then I started traveling. I moved to Thailand. I came back. I went to the UK for a little bit, and I was moving around a little bit of Asia and going back and forth to America for certain things. And yeah, I was moving around a lot. And then I came back to Australia, and I'm originally from the Gold Coast, but I moved to Sydney. So I completely changed up my whole camp for like the last 2 years. I've been drifting from place to place trying to find the fit for me. So it's not necessarily one person, but I think every single person I have come in contact with has given me a new perspective. And at the same time, as I haven't found my niche or my gym, my home base, they've all been super positive in developing um, and critiquing, mainly critiquing what I've been doing wrong. So, um, but at the moment, I feel especially the last like 2 3 months, I've just been at the same places, and I've been working really hard, especially with my boxing coach, Ant Redwood. I would say that he's been the most critical in a way that I can receive it in the best kind of. I can receive the information in the best way, and I can critique myself in the best way. And I've really refined some of the stuff he says, and I relate to how he looks at the sport as a whole. So it's been really positive for me, I think, to have him around. That's definitely one person that I would say has helped my boxing, especially.
Mm.
But yeah, it's been everyone.
Dang, dang. Okay, hey, she giving everybody props, y'all. She giving everybody props. Now here's a new fan that he's not really familiar with you, and so he's asking. Stamina MC is asking you, how did you get the name Hollow Point?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, it's not really the best story. It's not like that interesting. But I guess we were throwing around. I think after my first amateur fight, or my second amateur fight, I think we were throwing around a whole lot of names and just like alliteration and how we can tie in a name with my name, because it's like I guess it's a little bit of a unique name, especially here on this side of the world. Maybe not necessarily in America, but over here it is not a very popular name. And then um, I guess we just kind of came up with Hollow Point. We came up with like the black and gold and how that would work in, and the ammunition kind of type of thing vibe with my style. And yeah, we all just like found it and then kind of ran with it. And I haven't made shirts in a while, but when I first was starting out, I had a lot of good people around me, and I had like a screen printer and a graphic designer and stuff that helped me out with some logos. And I mean, that was pretty easy when you got the nickname Hollow Point. So we came up with some nice black and gold stuff, and it was really dope. And I've just kind of kept it ever since, and I probably will. So yeah, it's been good.
I actually thought you was an avid gun shooter when I first heard the name. I'm like, oh, okay, this girl must know how to shoot guns. Okay,
I
good.
have shot Hollow Points now, but like maybe it was like 2 years after getting the name, I finally shot a Hollow Point, and I was like, oh, I should have done this a lot earlier.
Okay. All right. Excellent question, y'all. You guys are, hey, y'all putting them in there. So now I want you to give us a breakdown. Okay. Olga Rubin versus Julia Budd. Okay, I want
Hmm.
the hollow point Harding like official just breakdown of how this fight plays, and maybe
Yeah.
even what each person need to do to to secure a win.
It's a hard one to be honest. I mean, they're both pretty good all rounders. I mean, Julia's maybe more of a wrestler, but at the same time, like Olga's a strong and aggressive opponent as well. Um, like I can't really choose it to be honest. I'm just interested to see how they go. Interested to see how they problem solve against each other's style and how what tactics they use to kind of progress. But I feel like it'll be a close fight, but I'd maybe give it to Julia just based on just her experience and probably her strength and stuff might edge a little bit over Olga, and just because she's a little bit older and has that kind of edge on her. But I don't know, it could go either way. But either way, I'm excited to see it for sure.
Okay, I'm excited to see that fight too. I actually, I just think Olga Rubin got this one. I think she's gonna win. Um,
Nice, yeah, that'd
yeah,
be cool. It'd be a cool upset for sure. I
yeah.
mean, that's someone that I wanted to fight, so in a selfish way, it would work out well for me if either of them won. But if Olga won, I'm happy with that too. So
Maybe you might get your wish. I mean, Scott Coker probably could be listening right now. Scott,
maybe.
Scott, it's time. Hook her up, Scott. Let's get it in, man. Nah, I'm pretty sure it's probably other people besides Scott that make these decisions, right?
Yeah, a few. I think
Yeah,
there's a few.
yeah. I just pick on him. I just pick on Scott. He's fun. I mean, he's a good guy. Though. He take care of you guys. Okay, all
Yeah.
right. Now I'm not gonna keep all day because she been working out and she tired. So I mean, folks, any other questions? Cause I'm gonna do one little thing that you and we didn't do last time. Excuse me, I'm getting choked up over this. Um, I'm actually gonna do a Janay Hollow Point trivia. Yeah, I'm gonna see if you know yourself. I'm
Probably not. Yeah.
gonna see if you know yourself real well. Okay. All right. I'm checking for any questions. Going once, going twice. Okay. 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 Here we go. All right. So Janae, the time. How long did it take you to get your fastest knockout? Okay. What round and
Well,
how many minutes and
I think it
seconds?
would have been round one,
Uh,
a minute 30 or a minute 28
you know what? You
in
so
the first.
close. So
I
close.
can't remember.
Wrong, but close.
Wrong. Of course, I
Close.
am wrong. I have
That's
no
okay.
idea.
That's
I have to
okay.
look on Dog most of the time to figure out who I fought and when it was and
Uh,
what date it was and stuff like that.
it's a minute and 26 seconds.
Oh, yeah, I knew it was around that. That was first professional fight. Is that it?
Okay. Your first professional fight? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Or against Jess DeWahey?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jess got knocked out in a minute and 26 seconds. Dang, that must have been a hard hit, man. God Almighty, that must have been a hard hit. Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, you fought Megan Anderson. Okay,
Yes.
all right. Name the fighter that she just lost to.
Um, Holly Holm, yeah.
Okay, you got girl. That's great. That's
She
great.
beat Kat down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She did some ground game, and she got that done on the ground. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Janae, you know yourself really, really well. Okay. All right. How long? Okay. How many rounds did it take you to beat Ramona Pascal?
Two.
Okay. Great.
Um, I don't remember what minute it was though. It was a second. That was like
It's okay.
really
It's
close.
okay. See, I didn't even ask you the second. I didn't even ask you the seconds. Okay. Okay. All right. Name the second person that you fought professionally, not in the amateurs, professionally.
um, Jessica Rose Clark.
No.
Uh, I think. Oh, Jess DeWahey.
Miss
Is it
Helen
called this?
Malone.
Oh, Helen Malone comes over. Okay, yeah.
Helen Malone. Okay. My final question, Janae. What is your knockout percentage?
Well, It's 4 out of 5. So, like, what's that? 80%.
God dog it, girl. Not only can you beat people up, you're
Nailed that one.
intelligent. You
That was
nailed
well,
it.
well done.
Can't mess with you. Can't mess with you. So Janay, you're on a two-fight win streak. Things are looking up for you. You're doing well. Okay,
Thank you.
this the part of the interview that I love. You know, I like saying goodbye, but I can't wait to say hello again. Don't want to keep you all day. Janay, any other people you want to give, you just want to thank, you want to give shout outs to. I mean, hey, the floor is all yours. It's time to let it go now.
Just mainly just want to shout out to all my gyms that helped me get the win. Aunt Redward at the Grange High Performance, Ethos Performance, Mia Orney there has been taking care of my strength and conditioning this whole time, and it's made a massive difference. A lot of people would have seen. And then as well as that, Triple X Fight Academy has been doing most of my MMA sparring, and everything like that. So it's been really good. And in the way of sponsors, I want to say thank you to Sweat Deck for jumping on board. They've been awesome. 3G developers, Ruka Australia has been awesome as well. Combat CMBT, some of the best protein in Australia for sure. That also gets tested for us so that we make sure that we're not going to fail any drug tests or anything like that. One of the best performance supplements that I've used so far. And then, Invisalign. I'm just gonna shout out Invisalign again because they were mad, and I'm gonna fix my teeth.
Okay.
So I think that's about it. I probably forgot people. I always forget.
Golly. So I mean, what was wrong with your teeth? What you had, an overbite or underbite? I mean, what was?
Yeah, massive overbite, and then these ones are all crooked, and then I got all 4 of my wisdoms out, and then I got 6 fillings, all done by Teeth on Ferry on the Gold Coast, which is amazing. And then they have hooked me up with Invisalign, which has been really, really cool because that's very expensive, and it was something that I probably wasn't going to be able to afford for another 3-4 years. But now I'm happy that I get to fix my teeth, and with a low maintenance kind of way of doing it without having to get braces, like proper steel braces in my mouth, and I can just get these plates in, wear them for a week, and change the plates over, and just keep moving my teeth. So it's really
Yeah,
cool.
I don't think I see anybody with braces fighting in the octagon because that's
Yeah.
probably not healthy. Probably not healthy. Wow. Okay. Now, Stamina MC, he asked another question. Man, come on. See, I said one, two, three. I said one, two, three. You didn't come up with the question, man. Oh man. He just asked you. You know what's your ceiling? He's a very smart guy, so y'all understand. He said, "What's your ceiling? How successful would you need to be to make you feel complete? What would you need to feel achieved in the
It's a
sport?"
funny thing, and yeah, it's a funny thing because a lot of people, especially recently, have been talking about achieving something like a belt and then kind of reaching the pinnacle and losing the hunger for it, or losing the, I don't know, the drive to continue moving through. But for me, I feel like from what I read, from what I try to preach and stuff like that, it's success isn't just attaining one belt. Like, one belt isn't going to be enough for me to feel like I've been successful in this lifetime. I know that it's what you do with your platform, what you do with the opportunities that you're given, and how you kind of use your success in a positive way, to either set me up for my future, affect generations below me, affect women's MMA as a whole, all that kind of stuff is going to make me feel successful. So ultimately, nothing specific, but in a group's kind of general sense, I just want to make sure that I've made some sort of impact on whatever I'm doing, and it's obviously going to be women's MMA, and made some sort of impact in society by being successful within this sport. So I think it's a little bit more than just attaining a belt or winning a fight or having a winning record. I think it would be a lot more than that.
Wow, man, Janae Hollow Point Harding, y'all, and he said that that's the best answer that he could have hoped for. Wow,
Cool.
wow, amazing, amazing. Well, Janae, listen, I want to thank you for your time, okay? Because you didn't have to carve out time. You made time. You didn't have to. but you did it just because I asked you. I asked you nicely too. I thought I did. Uh,
Yeah, always.
but you didn't have to because I know the YouTube interviewers. I know we like the, we like the guys. We're on that low end. I know you got the upper end guys that want to interview you. So I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
For
But
sure, man.
we're gonna buy your pay per views. Trust me, the diehards will anyway. I know we will. Um,
Appreciate it.
yeah, appreciate it. Well, guys, thank you. Oh, Janae, one last thing. Could you say, hey, I'm Janae Hollow Point Harding with that new Invisalign, and you're watching Coach Shelton Harrison.
I'm Janay Hollowpoint Harding, and you're watching Coach Shelton Harrison.
Hot diggity dog. That's what I'm talking
Done.
about. Peace.